When I was a little kid, I never even thought about race cars. I mean, I was never exposed to it.
I thought it was something that, you know, you had to be named Andretti or...
I always thought of racing as NASCAR, you know, going around in a circle, and you know, like, how hard could that be? The time that I decided that I wanted to be a race car driver was when I was exposed to it, like 6 years ago.
You had a buddy that was doing something, sounded really cool, let's go check it out.
And they were coming over with their wives for dinner and heard that we had to be an early night because I had an ice race the next day.
And I was like, ice racing? You gotta be kidding me. You know, what do you, like, go around in a circle and crash? It's like demolition derby. And he's like, no, you gotta see it to believe it. But it's like, you know, 30, 40 cars out on the ice, frozen lake. And as the week progressed, he said, you know what? My son was supposed to go racing. He has 2 race cars. He can't do it. You want to come and go racing?
So he drove the spare car, and he just went out and basically...
Whatever you break, you buy. And I was like, well, my first question was, well, what's the maximum amount of damage I could do? I kept asking him questions. I mean, I had a million questions.
I basically told him just to drive it and have fun, which is what you do, and that's how you learn.
What a great friend. And, you know, and we just barely met each other.
And then I'm coming around at the end of the race. I said, just don't hit me with my own car. That was the one rule. And sure enough, coming around at the end of the race, here's Rob on the inside. I said, okay, here we go. I'm going to go lap him. And he slides wide and bumps into the back of my car. I'm like, that son of a bitch.
So I went out and gave it a shot. And I was done. I was totally hooked. Totally hooked.
When I drove an open class for that year, learned just how slow you really are. I mean, it was... That's the eye-opener.
You know, I had my Rabbit. He has a Del Sol. Jeff has a Rabbit. And that, you know, we all used to race together on the ice. Jeff and I were talking one night.
I had always had a plan to go on to some kind of pavement racing.
And so I remember we went to Lime Rock Park, Jeff and I did, just to watch the races.
Kind of really found that this perfect kind of racing.
Really cool car, you know, fiberglass body, all shiny and new looking, right? We asked them what kind of car that was, and they said it was a Spec Racer Ford. And I said, don't you guys work on them? I mean, because there wasn't one guy working on these cars. I mean, and there were like 30 of them all lined up, you know, and they look great, you know. I'm like, so a couple of the guys told us, you know, this is a great class, and this is why.
I mean, the car, it handles like a big, fast go-kart.
Very fast, very competitive.
On any given day, any one of us could win. Jeff was the first one to buy a Spec Racer.
He found it, and I bought the car first so I can get a head start.
Then I followed like a year or two later. You can get a brand new one, $32,000, or a used one typically goes right around $20,000. Mine's beat up a little bit more than others, but that's my fault.
It is guys that want to go fast.
Because we went in side by side.
And then you're like this. I'm like, I can't hit him when he's like that.
Have a great time, but don't want to get, who can spend the most money tweaking their car out.
There's a lot of reasons why I love racing. The competition is really the thing that I love most about racing. The camaraderie is way near the top. I mean, it's, you don't do this because we're not making any money. We're spending money. There's no fans in the stands. It's not like, you go to a Formula One race where, everybody's got flags and they're cheering and you're having a great, when you win like a piece of wood that says you're number one. It's not like, you do it for the fun. You do it for the camaraderie. You do it for the competition. At least I do.
I'm like cold trickle.
Cold trickle.
Before a race, a lot of guys are like sitting down, reading the paper, totally chilled out. I get totally jacked. I'll check the fuel. Check it again. I need to distract myself. I don't sit still very well. I can't get in the car soon enough and sit and go to grid. That's the most relaxing time for me is once I get in the car.
What racing does for me when I'm out in that car, and this is a hard thing for people to understand when I tell them, but while it's exciting and it's intense, it is also probably the most relaxed I ever am in my life.
When I'm out on the track, I find I'm a lot different of a personality than I am when I'm hanging out with all my friends pre and post race. My perspective of myself is this nice, easygoing guy, but as soon as I put the helmet on and I'm out there, I'm like, get out of my way.
There is not a single other thought. You're not thinking about your phone, you're not thinking about your email, you're not thinking about your job, you're not thinking about anything other than your car, and that car ahead of you, and that car behind you, and the next turn that's coming up.
I think I'm a lot more aggressive on the track than I am in real life. I think I maybe push things a little hard sometimes. I think I'm racing a little bit smarter than I used to, but still I have moments where I'm like, oh, wow, what was I thinking? But I don't know, it is what I am. And, I don't know, I think I'm doing all right. This year I won my very first national race. Good luck, good car, good setup. It's like what they say, even a blind squirrel can find a nut every once in a while. There were guys that I totally respect as racers. Some of them are racing pro now. It was my day.